Welcome back, Officers Republic, your course on Underworld Police Chief APGAINS for another episode of APGAINS at night. It's just APGAINS, but it's harder to see me. We're talking about more free-to-play teams that are going to be so amazing. Thank you for everyone who has expressed interest or concern, rather, in my lack of light bulbs months later. I will eventually buy one. But we talked about our Core 8 in the last video. This is the Farming Guide playlist build. Now, we're going to talk about the other auxiliary teams. We call them the auxiliary teams because they kind of go around, you plug them in here and there to make sure that everything goes fine and dandy, and they pair, they're not kittens. They pair perfectly with the Core 8 teams to help you develop a very well-rounded, very efficient, very robust roster. At the top, we have the Triumvirate. Now, the Triumvirate are amazing. What's the most important data in the game is that you have when you lock Darth Treya. The reason they are so important as an auxiliary team is because everyone farms the Geonosians, right? The Geonosians are a fantastic faction. Don't overgear them, please, I beg you. But they are an STD team, right? Not sexually transmitted disease, but rather sometimes difficult. There are teams in this game, STD teams, where they're not necessarily hard to beat, but if you happen to not have the many things that beat them, they can be annoying. Things like Geonosians, things like Tusken Omicron, GL Nuke Gun Ray on defense, stuff like that, right? They can be annoying, easy to beat. If you have the right team, sometimes difficult. This is a very easy faction to acquire. If you have the three of them at Gear 12, it doesn't matter if the Geonosians are full R7, you're going to be good to go. Next, we have the Boys in Blue. They're really the Boys in Black, but Boys in Blue sounds cooler than the Boys in Black. Maybe I'll change it to Boys in Black later. But the Imperial Troopers, the reason everyone knows they didn't make the Core 8, they're the 9th team, but realistically, they're terrible on defense, so they can't really qualify as a core team because they don't have beginning to end game viability on both offense and defense. They're amazing for offense, but they're the 9th best team as these early free-to-play teams. So we're going to throw them here in the auxiliary team. The Boys in Black, Boys in Blue, whatever I decide to name them, the Imperial Troopers are a fantastic faction. Let's keep going. Here we go. We have the Qui-Gon Jinn team. You see how I threw this little Kiadamundi in here? I don't really use them, but I just got him to 7 stars after years and years and years. So God bless a 7-star Kiadamundi that will probably never be relicked. But Qui-Gon Jinn is, man, it really hurts to say this, but the best free-to-play, God, this really sucks to say, but the best free-to-play Omicron. It was Zam Wessel for a really, really, really long time, and now it's Qui-Gon Jinn. I don't think there's any disputing that whatsoever. Really quickly, for those of you guys who are going to go in the comments and say it's Wampa, Wampa takes a long time to get and isn't super useful unless he's relicked, but Qui-Gon Jinn's amazing from start to finish. He's probably going to be your first Omicron. If you randomly happen to have a 7-star Wampa for whatever reason, go ahead, apply that. The Wampa Omicron is fantastic. Oh, it's so amazing. But I do want to qualify that statement that I made about Qui-Gon saying that, Wampa does require a crap ton, 70,000, 90,000, get one currency, which is kind of hard to get. But let's keep going. This has the highest hold percentage of almost anything. And it doesn't really require a ton of investment. I mean, you're going to have Anakin relics because he's going to be one of your 3 to 4 first relics. You don't even need to have Mace Windu or whatever Galactic Republic you have relict. The Omicron takes care of all of it, and Anakin drops people like a fly. All right, Mace Windu will taunt. Anakin will hit. If you can sub in Kenobi, it's obviously better, but I mean, let's be honest, if these are your free-to-play teams and not your super endgame whale teams, you're probably not going to be able to sacrifice Kenobi. That being said, interesting thing that I just thought of, if you don't have JMK, and Qui-Gon's obviously a better lead than Padme, and Padme can go with Moff Gideon, you could throw GK on here and make this team a lot better. Food for thought. You should try it out. I'm probably going to try it out. We have the Berry Mix Super Fat Cockiner Roaches. The Geonosians are a fantastic faction. Like I said earlier, they are an STD team. So especially early game, you want to have maybe a 4-star Geonosian Brood Alpha, 7-star the rest, get them Gear 7, Gear 8, give the Zeta that gives the Brood on the beginning of battle, so you have that sixth bug. And then they're kind of one of those teams where they're not going to do much for you, and you're going to kind of outpace them in GAC around 1 million to 1.5 million GP. But in those really early GACs, it is very nice to have a team that, let's just say, underprepared. I don't like to say bad or unskilled, but underprepared opponents are going to have trouble with. Plus, they're fun. All right, let's keep going. We have the Girls in Blue, which I might also change to the Girls in Black, because headcanon, all of these are women. Snow Trooper, woman. Death Trooper, woman. Range Trooper, woman. Shore Trooper, woman. Iden Versio, I actually am on the fence about whether or not she's a woman. These four, for sure. She's too awesome to be a man, a woman. She's a god. So you thought I was going to say some like weird, non-politically correct sexist thing, but no. Oh, she's so amazing. Or I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, Inversio, great Omicron. You can use her at 3 stars, as you see I do. I took Death Trooper up to Relic because like someone's got to do damage. But this team is amazing. Full autos, Mon Mothma teams is good in a pinch in a lot of situations, and doesn't require a ton of investment. So at your discretion, have fun. And then we talked about Bigfoot Wampa, aka whatever the heck else there could be. Wampa is amazing because even at lower relics, and of course this is assuming that you have him 7 stars, you have the Omicron, you have him relicked. Even at lower relics, you can still do a lot of good stuff. Like, it's not going to be like where he's relic 8, like if you're watching Arnold play. Like, Arnold can try and kill gas or solo a bunch of GLs. I use Wampa mostly to kill GL Newt Gunray, Grievous, any Rebel team, any Iden team. A lot of times, if I accidentally mess up like a GL, like if I accidentally mess up a C counter or something like that, I'll throw him in and just click full auto and he'll, womp C to death and stuff like that. He's a very versatile offensive tune. There is the small caveat of that you can't get him unless you have Guild Event 1 token currency, and you should never, ever, ever spend any of that until you have a 7-star Malak and a 7-star Gas. So acquiring him, like I quite literally from start to finish, from 0 to 7 stars, I acquired him only in that like random bounty hunter thing that comes by. Not this. What is this pack? I've never seen this before. Oh, it's just gambling. Okay. There's like a random event that pops around. I don't even know if it's once a month. It feels like it happens once every 3 months because I almost never see it. It's like a bounty hunter challenge. You can get like 20 to 40. I think you can get 40 shards of a character, and I did that from 0 to 7 stars to get my Wampa up to 7 stars. So it takes a long time. It's a huge investment. It's awful. But he is a fantastic team, or well, I guess he's a team by himself. He's a fantastic character, and he kind of helps to round out those auxiliary teams. I feel like there has to be. Is it a round number? Let's just really quickly check the auxiliary team. We'll talk about the backbone teams later. The backbone teams are just core teams on steroids. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Aux 6. The auxiliary 6. We'll live with it. I'll call them the Aux 6. We have the core 8, the Aux 6, and then I don't even know how many backbone teams there are. But that'll be for next time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe, and I'll, as always, love you, and I'll see you later.